Could anyone replace the United States as the world's trade leader? The U.S. dominates with a $26 trillion economy, unmatched trade networks, and the almighty dollar. But global shifts, like rising powers, tech breakthroughs, and new alliances, are shaking things up. Today, we're counting down 10 countries with the muscle, strategy, or potential to step into America's shoes. From manufacturing giants to trade hub innovators, these nations are ready to reshape the global stage. None match the U.S. perfectly yet, but the race is on. Stick around as we break down who's got what it takes and who might surprise us all. Number 10, Brazil. Brazil's Latin America's $2 trillion trade contender, pumping out $600 billion in goods like soybeans, iron ore, and beef. It's a resource goldmine, with the Amazon's bounty and vast farmlands fueling its rise. Picture sprawling ports and cargo ships loaded with exports, backed by BRICS alliances. Brazil's got the raw potential to shake up global trade, especially in the global south. But here's the rub: political chaos and creaky infrastructure keep tripping it up. Can this sleeping giant wake up and lead? It's got the land, the hustle, and the goods, but needs stability and better roads to truly challenge the U.S. as a trade titan. Number 9, Canada. Canada's a $2.1 trillion economy with $1 trillion in trade, a quiet giant next door to the U.S. It's loaded with resources. Think timber, oil, and minerals flowing from its rugged landscapes. Picture vast forests, icy pipelines, and ports humming with exports. Tied closely to America, it's stable and reliable, with a knack for striking smart trade deals. But its small population, just 40 million, caps its global punch. Canada could dominate North American trade or lead in raw materials. Can it break free of the U.S.'s shadow? It's got the goods and grit, but needs more people and reach to claim the world trade throne. Number 8, United Arab Emirates. The UAE is a desert dynamo with a $500 billion GDP and $700 billion in trade. Dubai's a global crossroads, ports, planes, and skyscrapers galore. It's shifting from oil to tech and renewables. Picture luxury hubs turning into trade powerhouses. It's got vision and cash, but its size and oil routes limit it. The UAE could lead the Middle East or niche markets. Can it swap sand for trade supremacy? It's got the hustle, but replacing the U.S. might mean dreaming bigger than its borders allow for now. Number 7, Singapore. Singapore's a small but mighty trade titan with a $500 billion economy and $800 billion in goods flowing through it. It's the world's logistics king. Think a gleaming port and skyscrapers buzzing with deals. Free market policies and a strategic spot between East and West make it a trade superstar. Picture ships docking round the clock and banks fueling global finance. But its tiny size, no bigger than a city, keeps it from matching U.S. scale. Singapore could lead in regional trade or high-tech niches. Can this little giant rule the world? It's got the brains and hustle, but might shine brightest as a trade power broker. Number 6, United Kingdom. The UK's rewriting its trade story post-Brexit. With a $3.1 trillion economy, it exports $900 billion. Think finance, pharma, and aerospace. Picture London's banks and Commonwealth trade links reborn. It's got history and a global mindset, but it's no US in scale. The UK could lead in services and deals, not raw goods. Challenges? It's finding its footing outside the EU. Can this island nation reclaim trade glory? It's got the finesse and ambition, but replacing America's volume is a tall order. Still, don't count out this scrappy player just yet. Number 5, South Korea. South Korea is a trade dynamo in a $1.7 trillion package. It moves $1.3 trillion in goods, semiconductors, ships, and K-pop gadgets. Picture Seoul's neon skyline and ports buzzing with activity. It's agile, tech-obsessed, and a free trade champ. But its size keeps it from matching U.S. heft. South Korea could lead in niche markets, not the whole board. Think of it as the scrappy underdog with killer moves. Can it scale up to global trade boss? It's got the speed and smarts, but might need a bigger stage to truly outshine America's trade legacy. Number 4, Japan. Japan's a $4.2 trillion trade legend, moving $1.4 trillion in goods like cars, electronics, and robots. It's the king of tech innovation. Think sleek factories and bullet trains racing across Asia. Picture a nation blending tradition with cutting-edge exports, tied tightly to global markets. But an aging population and reliance on imports dent its armor. Japan could lead with quality and precision, not sheer volume. Can this island powerhouse redefine trade in a tech-driven world? It's got the smarts and trade savvy, but lacks the US's raw scale. Still, Japan's poised to carve out a massive slice of the global trade future. Number 3, India. India's a sleeping giant waking up fast. Its $3.5 trillion economy grows 6 to 7% yearly, fueled by a young workforce and tech boom. Exports hit $750 billion, textiles, pharma, and software. The Make in India push aims to rival China's factories. Picture bustling cities and a strategic spot in the Indo-Pacific. But shaky infrastructure and red tape hold it back. India's got the population and potential to dominate, but it's a long game. Could it leapfrog to trade leadership? If it builds the roads and ports, this rising star might just shine brighter than anyone expects. Number 2, Germany. Germany, Europe's $4.4 trillion powerhouse, thrives on precision and quality. It exports $1.6 trillion in goods, think cars, machinery, and chemicals. As the EU's economic anchor, it's got top-tier infrastructure and innovation in spades. Imagine sleek factories and trade deals spanning continents. But it's not all smooth sailing, energy reliance, and a small population cap its reach. Germany could lead in high-value trade, not raw volume. It's the master of efficiency, not scale. So, can this engineering giant steer global markets? It's got the brains, but might need more brawn to replace the US entirely. Number 1, China. China's already a trade titan with a $19 trillion economy and $3.5 trillion in exports. It's the world's factory, churning out everything from phones to steel. The Belt and Road Initiative ties it to over 140 countries, while the yuan challenges the dollar's reign. Picture this: massive ports, endless supply chains, and a government pushing global dominance. But here's the catch: trade wars and distrust slow its rise. Still, with unmatched scale and ambition, China's the closest to stealing the US's crown. Could it lead without alienating half the world? That's the billion-dollar question in this high-stakes trade game.